What does the future hold for Chille's Angels? Disciples of Jose Chille DeCastro, Thomas LetzOTVO Prowitzky and Matthew Jonesy Jones, Chille's Angels, literally made headlines over the past 3 days as they essentially got tricked into the auditing equivalent of a snipe hunt by Fred Bobby La Gutierrez and went to jail for it in New Mexico. After a night in jail and despite the current estimate of $2,000 taken in by DeCastro towards their bond/legal defense, which they'll get half, down from all of the money, the men are facing tremendous legal expenses if they decide to fight their charges. As he showed off his skills Wednesday night, DeCastro is a master of assembling a small group of people to come up with a fairly large number of cash donations. Last year, he showed this off by getting his fans to donate over $50,000 across his 4 GoFundMe campaigns, including one that was originally dedicated to helping non-DeCastro auditors for their legal defenses. DeCastro has been generous in the past with promoting the crowdsourcing campaigns of acolytes who are in favor with him. He, for example, at one point helped to raise over $4,000 for Press with Ranker's Defense Fund crowdsourcing campaign, which he allegedly personally managed. That campaign did fine until DeCastro and Press with Ranker owner Garrett Van Nett had a falling out over his felony conviction in September of 2024. Without DeCastro to promote the fund, it literally became frozen in time with donations ending literally the day DeCastro denounced Van Nett on the air. This is typical with DeCastro's protégés and hangers-on. If they're in favor, he'll promote their efforts, and they'll succeed until they eventually fall out of favor and the inevitable happens. Floyd Wallace is one of these former protégés, who fell out of favor in 2023. Floyd is currently sitting in jail in Oklahoma for a crime he committed while performing an audit on behalf of DeCastro. Wallace became excommunicated after allegations that he sexually assaulted Jason Dollarhide's wife Heather came to light. Wallace has floundered for the past 2 years without DeCastro, and it's reflected in his recently shuttered GoFundMe account that last pulled in donations a year ago. Another potential protégé and one-time possible love interest, Jessica Rage Girl Radio Tisiak, took interest in auditing from both DeCastro and Sean Paul Long Island Audit Reyes. When she attempted to audit a Department of Motor Vehicles facility in Pennsylvania and ended up arrested for trespassing, she caught the attention of DeCastro. DeCastro appeared enamored with the YouTuber despite the fact that she had a fiancé, and arranged to help pay for an attorney to defend her from the charges. Eventually, DeCastro paid her a visit when he was doing an East Coast swing, which resulted in DeCastro's ill-fated attempt to recreate her experience at the same DMV on the same day as her trial. Tisiak's lawyer was too busy with DeCastro to show up for her hearing, resulting in her conviction. Afterwards, Tisiak severed ties with DeCastro as she has thanked Reyes and not DeCastro in recent days for inspiring her to get into auditing. Her GoFundMe has sat at a single $20 donation for the 5 months since she opened it with no help in promoting it from either major YouTuber. Another YouTuber who came in and out of favor with DeCastro comes in the form of Jeremiah Payne. Once someone that DeCastro tried to help after a world-famous arrest, the pair fell out of favor as DeCastro failed to help Payne as he became increasingly demanding of DeCastro's time and efforts. While the pair recently briefly reconciled to a point, DeCastro did nothing to promote Payne's GoFundMe campaign, which has sat at $80 for the past year. Sometimes a creator can do everything right but isn't quite the fit that DeCastro likes and will not get promotion. Basil Beasy Watchdog Zanger has been a loyal soldier for DeCastro, going out of his way to stand up for all of DeCastro's causes and being a firm promoter of his products and ideals on each of his live streams. Zanger's problem? He's more of a shill for former DeCastro replacement host Michael Aline. There is bad blood because Aline's live streams on DeCastro's channel used to outdraw DeCastro's own live streams by a significant margin. While he's doing everything DeCastro asks and is a lapdog when needed, DeCastro will never pay Zanger back for his efforts. The Help Beasy Watchdog Hold Police Accountable GoFundMe campaign has sat for the past 2 months, raising $215 out of a goal of $2,500. Finally, there's the strange case of Craig Hendry. Hendry has been a real friend to DeCastro over the past 2 years. They've talked on the phone about the Constitution and their philosophies on life. If there's one person who could be described as an actual friend to DeCastro, it would be Henry. Henry's jailing in November of 2025 and his subsequent conviction brought many promises from DeCastro. Those included funding his commissary and help for his GoFundMe campaigns, including the campaign to fund Henry's appeal of his recent conviction. For his part, DeCastro completely ignored Henry's appeal campaign. It sat at $885 out of a goal of $15,000 for the past 3 months. Henry's generic GoFundMe, however, raised over $1,400 in the first few days of the year. It's still the overall leader from all of the campaigns we cover for the year, however. It fell off a cliff in mid-January when DeCastro became increasingly obsessed with finishing his Constitution HQ board game. It raised no money for February and has shot blanks for March. Its fate is in DeCastro's hands, and he has chosen to ignore it. So for Chille's Angels, our advice would be get outside legal help. Do not in any way, shape, or form rely on DeCastro for legal aid or legal advice. His history has shown that he is too volatile to rely on, and holding favor with him is important, even if he'll do little to actually help your eventual legal case. As far as fundraising, our advice is to take whatever money DeCastro is offering, then rely on outside sources for financing. If going the GoFundMe route, promote it before the news of the arrest fades and DeCastro simply forgets about any plight they may be going through. Chille's Angels' plight brought no impact to DeCastro's own crowdsourcing campaigns as he put up goose eggs for Thursday and Friday. Our own ongoing expenses fund won the day for Thursday with a $5 donation and Friday with a $70 donation, both sponsored by long-term hate watchers. Sadly, because of their actions of petty revenge, this column will live to see another week.
We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, keeping the cats fed and writing new stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, we do have a GoFundMe set up at the address on screen right now. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.